Remember, you want to surround yourself around individuals that are going to make you stronger, that are going to make you more wiser, that are going to help you accomplish your goals. And when you win, they celebrate. You see, when you hang out with a bunch of individuals that don't really want to see you win, when you win, they're going to turn their face. They're not going to clap for you. You guys understand that that's key? Remember, some people want to see you do good, but never better than them. All right. So you got to make sure that you're surrounding yourself around individuals that truly want to see you win on a day-to-day basis. Individuals that when you win, they smile, they clap, they celebrate, they buy you the champagne bottle, and they even take you out to nice dinners. Those are the type of friends that you really want to have. All right. And understand that this business is all push and pull. Right. And life is push and pull. We got to push the individuals in front of us so that they can pull us up. Push and they pull, right? Remember, together we can build an empire. Apart from each other, we can't do it. United we stand, divided we fall. We got to stay united, but you want to stay united with ambitious individuals, with wolves that want to grow together, that want to take themselves to the next level, and want to have quantum leaps in all areas of their lives. All right. And that's principle number 5. Principle number 6 is self-appreciation, guys. We must appreciate all of our accomplishments and our potential. You see, too many of us, we say, yo, when I hit this next rank, I'll be happy. When I have this amount of money in my bank account, I'll be happy. When I'm traveling to these beautiful, exotic places, I'll be happy. But in reality, family, we got to be happy with where we are right now. We got to be happy with the amount of money in our bank account right now. We got to be happy for the team that we have right now. We got to be happy for the family that we have right now. We got to be happy for the small accomplishments right now. Give yourself credit for the small things, because if you don't appreciate the small things, how are you going to appreciate the big things? All right. Understand that this is going to help you fuel your ambition every single day, right? This is one of the major keys of fueling your ambition, is being appreciative of the small things, the small accomplishments. You guys have no idea how good it feels to read a book, something as small as reading a book. For me, when I finish that book, and I know that I just finished reading the last page and I close that book up, dude, it feels like an incredible accomplishment. It feels like I won an award when I finish reading a book. When I have a productive day, that's an accomplishment. You know how many people have lazy days? So many. But me, I had a productive day. So I give myself credit for that. I give myself credit for even writing my goals down. I give myself credit for staying consistent with my meditation and my morning routine. I'm always giving myself credit for the small things, because I gotta be happy with where I am. Because that appreciation fuels my ambition. And that ambition is what's going to keep me going through the tough days when I don't want to wake up. That ambition is going to keep me going on the days when things are not going the way I want them to. Because no matter what, I know that I'm grateful for the small things. And that's something that we all must learn how to do. All right. And that's something that with time I had to learn. Right. And that's something that I was missing on my journey to success, was the small appreciation of the little things that were going to help me get to the next level. The moment I started to appreciate the little things, the big things started to show up a lot faster. So with that being said, guys, those are the 6 principles of building ambition. I'll repeat them one more time. Number 1 is positive self-direction. Number 2 is self-reliance. Number 3 is self-discipline. Number 4 is self-enterprise. Number 5 is work with other wolves. And number 6 is self-appreciation. Those are the 6 principles that we must apply on a day-to-day basis to build a strong ambition for where we want to go in life. I pray that you guys apply these principles immediately. And if you already have some of these, just check to make sure that you have every single one of them, right? Because we might have 3 or 4 of these, but we might not have the rest of them. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode of Mornings with Nanos podcast. I'm looking forward for you guys to listen to the rest of these, because, man, I got some amazing content for you guys. So with that being said, see you guys at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's go. Thank you for listening to Mornings with Nano. I would really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment below on how Mornings with Nano has brought value to your life. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys follow me on Instagram at Long Live Nano, Neno, so I can get you guys plugged into my morning masterminds at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here in 60 seconds. Let me just set this up, sending out the link. If you guys could just help me send out the links one last time, I'll just play a quick 60 seconds here so we can get everything organized and ready to go, fam. So real quick, just send it out, help me send this out. C's to confidence. Confidence has to come from you, family. It can't come from no. You don't think I wish I could just be like, here's Nano's confidence, put it into your body, and now you have all the confidence in the world. I wish I could do that, but I can't. Confidence is something that's earned, not given. Confidence is something that is earned, not given. But it all starts with the first C of confidence, which is courage, number one. Okay, you got to have the courage to go out there and do it. Number two, you got to be committed every single day to making a change. Number three, you got to be consistent. And then the last C of confidence is confidence, the fourth one. Okay, that's now where you have the confidence to speak in front of people, right? Now you have the confidence to talk about your business. You have the confidence to do leadership calls for your team. You have the confidence to travel the world and do what it is that you want. You have the confidence. And guess what? When you walk in, all right, to any room, people could tell if you're confident or not. When you talk to people, people could tell if you're really true about what you say. Trust me, confidence has a it'll have such a big impact in your life, because wherever you go, people will be like, you see that individual right there? He or she is confident in herself. He's confident in himself. They believe. And people love people who are confident. Let's be real. People love people who are confident. And that's really the key to everything. You want to be confident about everything that happens on a day-to-day basis. You want to be confident in yourself. You want to be confident in your vision. You want to be confident in your company. You want to be confident in everything else. And most people that lack success in this business, okay, most people. All right, let's get this started, guys. Sorry about that. And we are ready to go. Grand Rising, happy Tuesday, guys. I am so excited to be here on this beautiful Tuesday morning with all of you. Feeling really good, feeling really excited about an amazing call that we're about to have. I hope everybody has had an amazing start to their morning as well. Real quick, put some 222s in the chat if you too did your morning routine this morning. We just finished up a great morning routine here in Orlando with the rest of the team. We're all feeling good. We're all feeling aligned. We woke up. We did our visualization. We did our reading. We did our Bible study. We did our journaling. We actually did a very powerful journaling session this morning. And our prompt for this morning was, what is a mask that you are wearing that is currently holding you back? Yeah, I'm in Orlando, Joy. I'm in Orlando, bro. Pull up on me, actually, if you could. I'm in Orlando. Today's my last day. But yeah, we did a prompt this morning, which is, what mask are you currently wearing that is currently holding you back, right? And we dove deep into it. We shared a lot about what we are, learning in our books. The visualizations are just so powerful because when you do them together with another group of people, it really is powerful. There's so much value in that. And we just see ourselves accomplishing each other's goals and being a part of each other's journeys. And it's just something so beautiful when you can come together with a group of people and grow together, elevate together, visualize together, share ideas together, journal together, create our dreams together. It really is amazing. So super powerful mornings. Right now, we are currently wrapping up our last day in Orlando. We're spending 3 days in each city with our Vision Unleashed tour, We started up in Richmond, Virginia. We had a great time in Richmond, Virginia. Then we followed up in Atlanta, Georgia, which was absolutely phenomenal as well. And now we are in Orlando, Florida. Today's the last day before we head over to St. Louis, which I'm so excited for. St. Louis is going to be one of the cities that I've actually never visited before. I've actually visited every city on this tour but St. Louis. So that's going to be a new city that I get a chance to add to my collection of cities that I've been to. But one thing I've been appreciating about this tour, and let me just fill you guys in real quick. My sister this morning, Tia, she told me, she said, yo, every city that we've left them better than we found them. And people are taking the morning routines, they're taking the trainings, they're taking what we're doing each and every single stop, and they're staying with it. Like, everybody has absolutely loved the morning routines, and we've left each city with an impression that they can be better, that they can, work on themselves consistently. And they see that, yo, look, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to work on yourself. You spend an hour a day on yourself and a lot can change. This morning we just did an hour. We meditated, we visualized for 10 minutes. We read for about, today we read a little bit longer. We read for about 30 minutes uninterrupted. And then we journaled for the rest of the 20 minutes. So within an hour, those 3 to 4 actions that we took, we felt so good doing it. Now our vibrations are high. We're feeling good. We're in alignment. Everything is working out in our favor. Now we're on Mornings with Nano. We're pouring into ourselves and we're ready to attack the day. And that's why the days have been so productive. It's because, like you said, Ricardo, it's the small wins. The small wins are adding up. And we talked about this yesterday, and they just continue to get better and better and better and better. So I'm excited to, continue this tour and finish it up. This is actually the last week. I go back home Monday. So looking forward to just finishing up the tour and finishing it strong and go back home and, just get right back into my personal routine at home, which I'm very excited for. But with that being said, guys, let's get started with today's training. As we were doing our journal prompt, and I asked myself the question, like, what was the mask that I was wearing that was currently holding me back? I started to think about it, and I said, the one thing that came to my mind was the report card syndrome. And the report card syndrome is the ability that a lot of people have where we let our past results or the lack of results in our lives determine our value and who it is that we are. And I wanted to do a whole training on it. I said, you know what? I had an idea for what I wanted to train on, but something in my heart told me, Nano, do a training today on the report card syndrome. All right. So today the topic is going to be called the report card syndrome. So at the top of your paper, I want you to title it the report card syndrome. And let's get right into today's training. Now, if you guys are ready to take notes today, if you guys are ready to get poured into, I want you to put a 333 in the chat. If you guys are ready, I'm feeling good. My body's looking strong. Got to get back in the gym. Yesterday, we went on a nice run, me and my brother Zion. So excited for another run today, some push-ups here and there. So it's really, really, really good. Okay, awesome. So today's title at the top, the report card syndrome. Let's get right into this. Now, before I jump into the points that I want to cover about the report card syndrome, let's talk a little bit about what is the report card syndrome. What is it, right? What is the report card syndrome? Now, most people are unknowingly suffering from what's called the report card syndrome, which is, by definition, the belief that their past results define their future potential. All right, I'm gonna repeat that. The report card syndrome is the belief that their past results define their future potential. If you want to add something to that as well, is not only your past results, but your lack of results currently can also define your future potential. So if you want to write down a complete definition of what the report card syndrome is, the report card syndrome is the belief that their past results or lack of current results defines your future potential. And this is something that happens to a lot of us because what happens is it starts in our subconscious mind. It's a subconscious condition that it starts actually in school, but it bleeds into adulthood, it bleeds into our careers, our relationships, and our dreams. But all of this actually starts at an early age because if you think about it, as we grew up, we were basically measured, we were labeled based off of our grades, right? So if you were an A+ student, you were considered a good student, right? If you were a D student or if you had an F, you failed, right? I don't know if people were based off of grades, but think about GPAs. If you had a 4.0 GPA, you were a really, really good student. But if you had a 2.0 GPA, you were a failure. Okay. So believe it or not, that grading system that we all of us grew up in school, it actually became a part of our identity. Because what ends up happening is we start to believe that our value is found in the things that we're scoring, in our results, in the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. You see, because we started at kindergarten and we went from the age of about 5 years old, and depending on whether you went to college or not, let's say you went from 5 to 18 to 22 years old, right? We're talking about an easy 15 years of programming that for the first 15 years of our lives, which is the foundation of our lives, we were taught and we were conditioned and we were labeled based off of our grades, based off of the results that we got in school. So what happens is a lot of that report card syndrome now, whether you believe it or not, it bleeds into your adulthood. It bleeds into your careers, your relationships, your dreams, because now we're older. Now we're no longer in school. But remember, the first 15 years of our lives, the foundation of our lives is conditioned to believe that the results that we get in life determine our value. That's how it works. The conditions, the results that we get determine our value. So what ends up happening is now that we're older, now that we're experiencing real life things, if we see ourselves not getting the results that we know we're capable of getting, then we judge ourselves. We allow the lack of results in our lives. We allow our past failures and the things that we haven't done in our lives determine our identity. And because we let that become our identity, we start to act like it, we start to speak like it, we start to move like it. This is important that we understand. All right. If you can understand what I'm going to share with you guys here today, a lot of things can shift for you. Because here's what happens, guys. Believe it or not, a lot of us, whether we wanted it to or not, including myself, this has been programmed into our mind. We've been programmed to think this way. Even me, still to this day, this is a battle that I have. This is a battle that I have where I sometimes let my lack of results or the fact that I know I can be an A+ student, but sometimes I'm scoring a D, I'm scoring a C in my life, and I let that score and I let those results determine my identity. And that's the reality of it, right? I let it bring me down. I stress myself out for it, right? Think about it in school almost. Think about it in school. It's like when you were in school and you took a test and you thought you had it, you thought you were good for it, but you ended up scoring a lower grade. You ended up getting a D or a C, when in reality, your goal was to get an A. And now, instead of you getting an A, you got a C, you got a D. Now you're scared whether you're going to pass the class or not, or, you didn't do as good. And now you're looking at yourself like, damn, man, I'm a C student. I'm a D student. And naturally, guess what happens? Because you look at yourself as that, you start to act like one. You start to speak like one. And those things start to happen. And here's what it is that happens to a lot of people. You know how many people right now, currently, because of their lack of result, are not moving the way that they're supposed to move? They're letting their past failures, all right? They're letting their past results, they're letting the lack of result at this current time determine their future potential. So many people right now, there's thousands, probably millions of people all around the world that are not acting, that are not moving, and that are not doing what they're supposed to do because of the report card syndrome. It's a real disease. But the thing is, it's not a physical disease, it's not a health disease, it's a mental disease that we all have. So, what I want to do for you guys is, not only do I want to help you guys understand this report card syndrome, but I want to help you guys overcome this. All right. So, how are we going to do this? Okay. I'm going to give you guys 4 points on how to overcome the report card syndrome. Because here's the truth: you are not your last report card, and you are not your past performance. You are who you believe yourself to be. So if you believe yourself to be a great student, a great leader, a great individual, then you will be that. So here are the 4 points on how you're going to overcome your report card syndrome. Let's jump into point number one. All right. Point number one is, school taught us to chase approval, not growth. All right. Remember this. School taught us to chase approval, not growth. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, said, traditional education will make you a living. Self-education will build your future. This is important. Traditional education will make you a living. Self-education will build your future. We got to understand that. So even though a lot of us, we went to school, look, guys, I went to school, I got my bachelor's. I went to 4 years, I finished. All right. But that only got me so far. What has really changed my life has been self-education, chasing growth, not approval. You see, because the way things are is, if you get a good grade, I'm good. But if you fail, you're not enough, right? This happens to a lot of people. If they get a good grade, you're good. But if you fail, you're not good enough, right? It's like, think about this example, right? Think of the kid who was bad at math. Maybe they failed a few quizzes early on. And from that point forward, they believe, yo, you know what? I'm not a good math person, right? That identity followed them into adulthood. Now, guess what? They don't try to learn budgeting, investing, financial literacy, not because they can't, though, but because of the false identity they created in school years ago. I know a lot of people like that I hear. As a matter of fact, I've been that person with history. You know, my favorite subjects in school were chemistry, math, and science. I would say, like, those were like my favorite subjects. The subjects that I wasn't good at was the history classes. English, I was okay with it. So I've even caught myself, now that I'm sharing this with you guys, tell myself, like, yo, nah, like, I'm not that good at that stuff. But you know why? Because there were many times that I failed. There were many times that I failed those tests. And guess what? I failed those tests not because I couldn't pass those tests. It was because at the time I didn't have an interest in, like, US history and social studies and all the stuff that came with it, right? So I failed those, but I caught myself throughout my life telling myself that I wasn't good at those things, right? I know a lot of people that all the time they tell me, yo, I'm not good at math. I hate math. I suck at math. Math was my worst subject. But you know why they say that? It was because, think of the kid that was bad at math. They probably failed a couple quizzes. They failed a couple tests throughout the years, right? And now they believe, because of that, that they weren't a good math person. They weren't good at that specific subject. And what ends up happening is, here's what happens. That identity follow them into adulthood. It follows us because remember, it's built in our foundation. Family. It becomes a part of our foundation. So you got to remember this. Your identity was shaped by a system that rewards memorization, but not transformation. As adults, you know what we got to do? We must unlearn approval seeking and relearn growth seeking. I'm going to repeat that. As adults, now that we're all adults, we must unlearn approval seeking and we got to relearn growth seeking. Forget about the school system. They taught us to chase approval. We have to chase growth, right? That's what I'm doing on every stop on this tour. Every stop on this tour, you know what I'm doing? I am teaching my leaders, my students, yo, let's chase growth. Let's get closer to God. Let's read the word. Let's visualize our futures. Let's overcome those old thoughts, fears, insecurities. Let's read great personal development books. Let's journal our thoughts. Let's listen to podcasts. Let's listen to audios. Let's get in the gym. Let's do the things that are going to allow us to grow as individuals. Self-education. Because that's the real only way for us to overcome that report card syndrome. So point number one is school taught us to chase growth. School taught us to chase approval, not growth. So moving forward, chase growth in you, becoming a better you, speaking better, acting better, getting in shape, right? Like right now, I'm not in the best shape of my life. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I feel strong. I feel good, but I'm not in the best shape of my life. I can get so much better. I feel like I'm not even at 50% of what I'm capable of. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what, Nano, I give you like 30. You know what? I'll give myself some grace. I'm 40% of the way there. But think about that. I'm only 40% of the way there with where I want to be with my body. That leaves another 60% potential of growth. Wow. I cannot wait to see Nano grow 60 more percent in his physical body and growth. You know how powerful that's going to be? You know how good I'm going to look, how confident I'm going to be, how much more I'm going to accomplish when I get in better shape in my life. And I'm in good shape. But the beauty of it is that I'm chasing growth in myself. You know how good it's going to feel when at the end of the year, I could look back and say, yo, I read at least 20 books this year. You know how awesome that is? Did you guys know that the average person reads less than one book a year? Let's actually ChatGPT this. Shout out to ChatGPT, man. How many books does the average person read in a year? Here's where we go. That means adults read 4 or fewer books. Based on a couple averages, less than 4 books a year. And I think that's and these are people who are readers. Yeah, this is based on people who are actually readers. So think about it. Most people don't even read. Most people don't read in reality. That's a generous number, right? That's what I said. I'm like less than 4 books, 4 or fewer. I thought they would say like 1 or 2 books. But in reality, guys, people don't read. People are not self-educating themselves. How many people do you know are investing thousands of dollars into events? Not many people. ChatGPT is being nice this morning. And remember, ChatGPT isn't always accurate, by the way. You got to check it. But for example, think about it. How many people are actually investing into education? I just told you guys at the beginning of this year, I hired a mentor. I hired a speaking mentor so he can help me launch my speaking business. I hired him in March. You know how much it's going to cost me to get mentored by him? Close to $25,000 for the year. Actually, it's like a 2-year thing, close to 2 years. And plus, on top of that, I have to pay him monthly, $750 a month. Some people complain about, little subscriptions. I have to pay this guy when it's all said and done, 25K from my bank account. I have to pay him $25,000 for him to mentor me. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that 25,000 is going to be worth it when now he teaches me how to get booked and paid and to speak? And now he told me, yo, my speech, he said, yo, you should minimum be charging to get paid to speak $10,000. So he's teaching me how to build a business where I'm going to start charging people $10,000 for me to go speak to their schools, their corporate leadership, their sales leaders, and so on and so forth. So yes, I got to come out of pocket 25, but he's teaching me how to get 10K per speech. How many speeches do I have to give to make my investment back? How many speeches do I have to give to make my investment back? You guys can tell me that. How easy is that? Only 3. I only got to give 3 speeches to make my investment back. That's it. And then guess what? That business is going to be a 7-figure business. I'm going to make multiple 7 and 8 figures. As a matter of fact, I'm speaking it now. I'm going to make 8 figures in my life with my speaking business. Think about how awesome that is. To pay 25,000 to make 8 figures. How many of us would do that? All of us. But guess what? I had to invest into the education first, though. I had to invest into it first. See how that works? You have to invest first. You have to seek self-education, right? I go to many events every year, right? I go to so many events. Why? Because I understand the importance of events, getting myself educated. Come on, guys. This is what life is about. You have to be willing to invest. Never be scared to invest back into you. You want to get rid of that report card syndrome. Investment in you is the best investment you'll make. Think about it, guys. I've bought I've read over 100 books. And then the books that I haven't, the books that I haven't read yet, let's say I've purchased close to 150 books. Now, guys, buying books is an investment. They're not free. Let's put the average price of a book at $15 times 150. Just in books alone, in my lifetime, I've spent over $2,000 in books. $2,250 here it says. And that's assuming that the average book is $15. I've spent just in books over $2,200 just in books. Think about events that I've gone to, the flights, the hotels, the private mentorship that I've paid for, right? This stuff is incredible that you guys need to understand. How is your mentorship with your mentor? Is it by phone, Zoom calls? Zoom calls. I've only met him in person one time. So these are the things that we all got to understand, guys. This is so key. School taught us, remember what I said, school taught us to chase approval, not growth. We got to go chase growth because traditional education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. That's point number 1. Point number 2 that we all need to understand is that grades and results don't measure our grit, our heart, and our potential. This is a good one that I want you guys to really write down. Grades and results don't measure our grit, our hearts, and our potential. I'm going to tell you guys something here. There's a lot of you that are on this call that I believe in a lot. And I know that maybe just because you don't have the results, that doesn't determine your heart. That doesn't determine your potential, and that doesn't determine your grit. There's people that are on this call that you guys are so talented, you guys are so willing, that in reality, you guys are holding yourself back because you've allowed that grade, you've allowed that lack of result determine who you are, determine your identity. But in reality, guess what? You're a lot stronger than that. You have a lot more potential than that. I know you have so much more inside of you. I know you could work harder. I know you could be more disciplined. You've had moments in the past where you were way more disciplined than you've been today. I know there's been moments in the past where you've been a lot more confident in yourself than you are today. So that person is inside of you. So don't let the lack of results, don't let the grade that you currently have in life determine your identity. Don't let it. Because here's what Albert Einstein said. He said, everybody is a genius. But he said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. There is so much context to that. Think about that. Think about what Albert Einstein said. He said, everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. That is so powerful. You see, there's people that are, look, call it what it is. I wasn't an A+ student. I was a B and C student. But look, I became a 7-figure entrepreneur because guess what? I had vision, I had hustle, and I had heart. Meanwhile, I know straight A students that never took risk. They played it safe and they lived by the book. Nothing against them. I love them, right? They chose that life. But I was able to build a 7-figure business as a C student. Why? Because I had vision, I had hustle, I had grit, I had heart. I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. All right? We got to keep this in mind because success isn't measured by test scores. It's measured by your hunger, by your belief, and your willingness to fail forward. Your ability to fail forward is the game changer for all of us right now. What's your belief like? What's your hunger like? What's your willingness to fail forward like? Let me, I'm interested in this actually. Let me break down this quote one more time. I want to break it down. The quote by Albert Einstein. So I said, break this down in simple terms for me. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. It says this means that everyone has their own unique talents. But if you expect someone to succeed at something that they're naturally not good at, like expecting a fish to climb a tree, you might wrongly think they're not smart or capable. In simpler terms, everyone is good at something. But if you judge them in the wrong way, you won't see their true strengths. Just because someone can do one specific thing doesn't mean they're not smart or valuable. It's a reminder to appreciate people for what they can do, not what they can't. That is so powerful. So powerful. All of us are good at something. That's why I never judge people on what they're not good at. My business, that's why I also love my business, because I understand in my business that not everybody's going to be good at it. I get it. Not everyone is good at sales. I have people in my business, for example, my business has a it's very open to many different skills, right? There's people that do trading. There's people that do crypto. There's individuals that do e-commerce, social media. Yes, diverse. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you. There's people that do network marketing, which is sales. All right. And for example, I have people on my team that are really good at trading, but they can't do the sales side of it. I can't judge them on their lack of not being able to do sales. Okay, because I get it. Now, can they improve in those areas? Absolutely. Can they get better with time? Absolutely. But I can't judge their worth on their inability to make sales, right? We're all like, good. For example, me, I'm not the best at all of it. For example, my role on my team, as you guys know, I'm the mindset guy. I'm really good at network marketing. If you were to say, Nano, what are your strengths as a leader? Right, my strengths are mindset and leadership. Those are my two biggest strengths. Now, do I have the ability to trade? Yes. Do I invest in and I love crypto. Crypto, I would call one of my strengths as well. E-commerce. Well, I have all the skills. I'm very knowledgeable. But if you were to tell me, Nano, what are your top two that that's your role as the team leader? Mindset and leadership are my top two. Then I have other leaders. For example, my brother AWOL. He's my co-founder of my platform. His thing is trading and systems. Those are his strengths, right? We have different leaders in our organizations that have strengths, right? I have another leader. Her name is Tia. Tia is very, very good at e-commerce, digital skills, all of those different things that she was actually an educator in already. Right, I'm on tour with her right now. She's very organized. She helps us set everything up. We the night before events, she sits down with me. All right, Nano, what's the itinerary for tomorrow? She's very green in that aspect for things, right? So she's really good at those things. PowerPoints, helping organize things, systems, all of that, right? She's great at that, right? So I let her be great at what she's great at. She allows me to be great at what I'm great at. I allow AWOL to be great at what he's great at. And together we build a beautiful team. See what I'm saying, guys? So don't ever let your lack of not being able to be good at a specific area, basically don't let that be your value. Find what you're good at and be even better at it and provide value in those areas. I have people, for example, my sister Mina, right? Another great one. Mina's really good at social media, really, really good at social media, personal branding. Okay. So guess what? I let Mina be good at the areas that she's good at. She lets me be good at what I'm good at. Right. I have another one of my sisters. Her name is Jess Torres. She's great at marketing, phenomenal at marketing. As a matter of fact, she's helped me with my speaking business, helped me create like PDFs and PowerPoints and websites and all of this stuff, right? She was, she's the head of marketing for Alpha Society. So I let her be good at what she is good at. Everybody has a strength. I have my other brother. I don't know if he's on this call. His name is Alex Swift and Michael DePreda, two of my brothers. Bro, they are geniuses when it comes to cryptocurrency, right? They're geniuses. They love crypto. They could tell you about every crypto project, what's good, what to avoid, how to set all these things up. That is their specialty. Now, if I were to judge these individuals on their ability to do something else, then I wouldn't be able to give them the right value. Okay. Like I couldn't, because what they're good at is this, and they're really, really good at that. So I have such a powerful team in my circle because I'm able to accept and love and appreciate everybody for what they're good at. And we've all kind of like, we know, people know, like, yo, Nanos, this guy, Tia is this person, Mina is the person for this, AWOL's the person, and no one's judging each other. That's why our community is so powerful and it is so strong, because it's not, oh, this person sucks at this person sucks at that. No. It's, yo, this person is good at that. Let's embrace that person there. This person is good at that. Let's embrace that person there. Let's embrace this person here. And we are able to create such a powerful team because of that. That's what you want to do with your businesses as well, guys. With your businesses, with your lives. Think about it. In relationships too, it works the same way. If you guys are in relationships, you know that whether you're the boyfriend or whether you're the girlfriend, you know who's good at what. Okay, who's going to be the one to organize things? Who's going to be the one to provide? Who's going to be the one to do this? Who's going to be the one to take care of the house, right? Like, you got to find that healthy balance in it, right? And basically, the point I'm trying to make is, don't judge people on the things that they can't do. Judge them and appreciate them for the things that they're already good at. Every single one of you guys have a gift. Every single one of you guys. You all have a gift. My sister Jasmine has a gift with production, right? She's so good at this stuff, right? She was able to help me take a podcast from Washington Heights to top 100 in the world. It's incredible. It's incredible what she's been able to do for me, right? So everybody has gifts, guys. So grades don't measure your grit, your heart, or your potential. Remember that. Your results don't measure who you really are or your identity. Find out what your gift is and embrace it, pour into it, and let that gift help you grow your potential so that now when you look at that report card, it's nothing but A pluses because you're actually good at it, right? If in school I was only graded by my math and science classes, man, I would have been an A+ student. I would have been a Victorian, something like that. The top student of the class. I forgot what that's called. I would have been one of those if they would have just judged me on my math and science scores. I was great at that. But they judged me on everything else. You know what I'm saying? So that's point number 2 that I want to make. All right. Which is, grades don't measure your grit, your heart, or your potential. Don't let it measure it. All right. And then last point that I want to make here is, break the cycle and create a new scorecard for yourself. You have to redefine what success looks like for you. You have to create your own report card now. And you know what you want to base off? What you want to base your report card on now? Base it off of growth, not perfection. Base it off of effort, not outcomes. And base it off of purpose, not pressure. Those are the 3 things that you want to create your new report card on: growth, effort, and purpose. That's moving forward. That's what your report card is going to be graded by: your growth, your effort, and your purpose. Now, what I want to do is, I want to do a little experiment here. And this is an honest experiment because I want you to grade yourself on where we are today, but I want you to work towards where you want to be at by the end of the year. So real quick, if you were to grade yourself from A to D, A being obviously really good, B being, you're almost there, C being you're growing, you're getting there, and D being, you still need a lot of work, right? If you were to grade yourself, we all know what scores A through D are. If you were to grade yourself on your growth this year, what would you grade yourself on growth? And this is honest reflection, right? Remember, this does not define us. This doesn't define us right now. All right? This doesn't define us right now. This is where we are. We're identifying where we are because we're all going for A pluses everywhere. The goal is to get to A+ in each area, right? So if I were to grade myself, and this is truth and honesty, my growth this year, if I look at my past years when I was an A+ student, I would probably give myself, I'm gonna be hard on myself. I'm gonna give myself a C+. I'm gonna give myself a C+. Maybe B-, to be honest. I've done a lot of growth. So, I'm just hard on myself. I think about all the other years and stuff like that where I was reading it's hard because, I at one point in my life, I was reading a book a week, and I haven't read a book a week, and so, in terms of that, I got to get back to that kind of thing. If you are C+, then I'm a D. Now I give myself, to be fair, C+, C-, B-. And this is me, obviously, because I want more potential to grow. So I'm giving myself room to grow, right? Because if I give myself a B+, then I'm not giving myself room to grow. So I want to give myself a C because I want room to grow, room to elevate. So that's on growth. Now, what would you grade yourself? Stay with me here. All right. What would you grade yourself in terms of effort? What has been your effort this year so far? What would you grade yourself A to D? What would you grade yourself in terms of your effort? All right. In my effort, I'm probably going to keep it around the same, to be real. Keep it around. I'll probably give myself like a B minus in effort, right? Let me give myself there because I do put in a lot of effort. That I will tell you guys. I do give myself effort there. All right. Definitely. Because I'm always working. I always show up regardless of days. Like I have no other option. All right. So I got to keep showing up. Gracias, hermano. Thank you, bro. See who we got over here on Instagram. Now my Instagram, we're about to die over here. So I'm about to end this call soon. So at least I'll effort. Okay. Now keep this in mind. All right. And then the last one is the last place I want you to grade yourself is in purpose. Your purpose. Now here, I would probably say this is my strength, but I'm gonna give myself a B plus here. I'm not gonna give myself an A yet. I don't feel like I'm 100% there, but I'll give myself the highest grade here. I'll give myself like a B plus in purpose because, doing mornings with Nano every day, being a leader, building my relationship with God. I'm gonna give myself a B here for sure. So overall, I would give myself CBB. If you want to just kind of keep it true and honest, like CBB is my 3 scores that I would give myself there. Now, and realize that's good, and I see some Bs, I see some Cs, I see some Ds as well. Hermano, what's up, bro? Now, here's the goal. By the end of the year, I want to see all of us at A+. Not A's, A+. Our growth, I want it at A+. At effort, I want us at A+. At purpose, I want us at A+. And remember, where you are right now doesn't define who you are. Doesn't define. It just shows you where you currently are in terms of progress. This is it. We're only 7 months into the year. We still have 5 months to go. So this grade right here, this is our new report card. This is not a report card that if you have a C or you have a D, you're failing. No. Here, you can always improve. Here, you determine it. So now our report card isn't based on what we score, on what we memorize, or what we test on a subject. Our report card is based on our growth, which we determine. We can wake up and we can grow every day. Our report card now is based on effort, our ability to show up every day, our ability to show up even when we're tired, when we're exhausted, and when we're going through things. And last but not least, our report card is determined by our purpose, showing up every day and doing what we love to do, growing our relationships with God, stepping into what we're meant to be, stepping into who we are. That's the key. So we got to break that cycle. That old cycle, it is what it is. That was the old version of us. That's the old mask. That's the old you. Remember, the old you must die so that the new you can be born. And guess what? This is going to become our new standard. And like Vanity said, the school year not over. We still got 5 months left of the year. Let's get all of our grades to A+, because we can and we will. We will. So type an A+ in the chat if I can count on you to get your new report card to A+ in those 3 areas: in growth, in effort, and in purpose moving forward, because that's where we're going. Because understand this, and I want you guys, and this is how we're going to wrap it up here. Your real report card is written in your habits, not your history. That's the truth. So to everyone who's ever been told they're not enough, or to the ones who felt labeled, misjudged, or underestimated, guess what? Rip up that old report card. Rip it up. Rip it up. You're not that grade. You're not that score. You're not that statistic. All of us, you know what we are? We are all works in progress, including myself, Nano. You are becoming a better version of you. And your best work hasn't even been graded yet, to be honest. Think about that. Our best work has not even been graded yet, fam. So, with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. That wraps up today's call. If you guys got value from today, put a 777 in the chat. If you guys got value from today, thank you guys so much for taking the time to jump on today's training. I'm letting you guys know now, I will not be live tomorrow. I have a flight to St. Louis tomorrow, and it's at 9 a.m. actually. No, it's at 10 a.m. actually, if I'm no. Is it 9? No, it's 9 a.m. I have a 9 a.m. flight, and I'm not going to be able to make it sort of tomorrow's call, but I will be back on Thursday. So just a couple more trips to make. I do apologize about my travel stops and stuff like that. We have to arrive early at some of these places, so we have to leave early. So sometimes I have to take a day off of the calls, but I won't be here tomorrow. So just giving you guys a heads up, but I will be back on Thursday 100% from the St. Louis area. And then I don't think we'll have to cancel any calls after that, because I think I should be good in terms of travel moving forward, because then I travel to LA on the weekend and we don't do calls on the weekend. So we should be good from there. All right, guys. So I'm super excited to continue to grow and elevate with you guys. Remember, rip up that report card. Your results, your lack of your lack of results and your past wins don't determine your future results. Make sure that moving forward, your results are based off of your growth, your effort, and your purpose. All right, fam. So I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to do a little prayer for us, and then we'll wrap up today's call right there. So quick prayer, and let's wrap it up. Father God, just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Because we made the wake up list, we know that you are not done working on us. And we're just always so grateful, because every day you make us more aware of different ideas, different circumstances, and just these things that can allow us to really step into who we really are. And we just want to say thank you for that, God. Every day you're helping us become better versions of ourselves. You're helping us step into more of who it is that we are meant to be. We want to step into the image that you see us for, not who we were in the past. And you just do it in such a graceful manner. And we just want to say thank you for it all, God. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for forgiving us. Thank you for washing us clean of our sins and the things that are not serving us. Thank you for standing by our side and holding our hands through this process. I know that times can be hard and life gets difficult, but you never leave our side. You're always there for us. You're healing the brokenhearted. You're forgiving us for the things that we're not living up to. And honestly, God, there's no one better than you at what it is that you do. So we just want to say thank you. We want to say that we appreciate you. And moving forward, we're going to be the examples that we want to see in the rest of the world. So we're going to commit to growth. We're going to commit to effort. We're going to commit to purpose and everything that represents you, Father. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do for us. Everything we do is for your praise and your glory. And in your name we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Amen, guys. So hope you guys have a beautiful day. God bless all of you. And I will see all of you at the next call on Thursday morning for another amazing call that we will have. All right, guys. God bless you guys. Let's have a great day and let's continue to grow and elevate. Let's go.